I got 99 problems, but a book ain't one. So somehow in our last apartment, we had enough book storage, but magically we've gotten here and this pile of books has persisted. This isn't functional in any way. It's not cute. So we have to fix it. Our dining room has become kind of a dumping ground for things we just don't have a place for. And now that the holidays are fast approaching, I would like to rectify that. And I'm going to start with these books and magazines. So in the living room, I initially put this credenza here and decorated the wall above, but shortly thereafter said, oh no, this would be the perfect place for a bookshelf. Something that is tall, takes up this space, and allows for me to add more color to this room. I know, you would say, oh yeah, there's already a lot of color in there. But honestly, I felt like it could be a bit more intentional and just provide a little bit more of an impact here. Also, our speaker and turntable being here is not the best acoustically for how we use this front half of the apartment for entertaining. I'm putting entertaining in quotation marks because we haven't really entertained yet, but we do want to. So we want this stuff, we want the audio to live back in the dining room. That way the music comes forward instead of this music being pushed just out into nothing, into the doorway. You can't really hear it in the kitchen or dining room. The plan. I did this in Milanote, still free, still love it. I'll leave a link down in the description. So I'm using 3 Ikea Billy bookshelves that we will connect together and connect to the wall to make it look like one unit. I'm going to use this patterned wallpaper to cover the back of the bookcase. And then I have these 3 colors because I was trying to decide between the red and the brown on which color I wanted to use to accent in a random pattern on the bookshelf. And then the yellow squares just to represent my couch to make sure all of these colors work together. So now we have a plan. Let's get to work. Strong man shine. Here's bookshelf 1.
I'm just gonna lay it down, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Toe kick.
Huh?
That's a toe kick.
Toe kick. This thing?
Toe kick.
Whatever that is.
I just wanted y'all to know that Sean said, if you
I'm winning right now, bro.
if you put one together and I put one together, we'll be done faster.
Look where
And I said, no, this is mine.
Bro, what are you talking about?
You can't say, let me get the camera and then lie and try and claim my bookshelf.
Celia, please. Don't be a sore loser.
I said, no. I said, we shouldn't race because I just want to make sure that we do it right. And he said, okay, but then later said, we still racing in my mind. But I have had to help him twice already.
You're a good competitor.
And here I am.
Duncan,
I'm spanking you. Come on.
You're not winning.
Look.
All right, got my pieces in. All I'm ready to do is flip it over. See, now you're worried. Now you're worried. Oh, snap. She said, oh, snap. You might have an advantage. Look at what she doing. She got her last one.
Put the camera down and come out.
Now let's put the camera down and come on.
Here's mine. Here's the losers. He was trying to be smart again and do both sides, and he thought he was going to stand it up and surprise me, but nope. Here he is, still working. Let's get up close on that one. Oh, now he gonna fix it. Show us that one. Books flying off the shelves.
Ain't no books on these shelves.
Okay, now that the shelves are together, if you guys remember from our plan, it's now time to decide which cubes we're going to paint. Now, I didn't go in initially, like when I showed you that picture, I hadn't planned that out. I wanted it to feel random. So I'm just going to randomly select squares to paint. And now I'm just talking in a voiceover because the audio for this section was lost. So that's basically the gist of what I'm saying. I'm going to use some tape to decide which cubes they're going to paint. That way I can see and make sure that what I'm doing does feel random and not a pattern. Once the selection has been made of what cubes are going to be painted, I'm just going to go in with a pencil and draw lines with the shelves in place so that we know on those longer side pieces which sections need to be painted. I'm also writing the word paint and I'm just using a pencil to do that. In hindsight, I should have labeled which shelf was which better, because I'm pretty sure once I put this together it is not the same random pattern that I started with here, but that's okay. I went with what felt good. All of our marking is done. We of course just removed all of the shelves and we're going to go in and give everything a quick scuff sand. We're using a 220 grit sandpaper here. The goal isn't to remove the white, it's just to get off the shine a little bit and give the paint something to adhere to. In between sandings, of course, you want to wipe everything down. We used a wet cloth and then let it air dry and then went over it with a microfiber cloth just to make sure we aren't leaving any, dust bunnies or anything behind. Okay, so we think that we have the prep work done on our shelves. They are sanded, they have been wiped, and they have been taped. So we are ready to go in with our shellac primer. Now, I recently painted a smaller piece of Ikea furniture and I used a regular napped roller. And a bunch of little hairs came off and got onto the piece and like almost made it look furry. So this time around, we're gonna try using foam rollers instead of a traditional nap roller. And we'll see how it goes. And now we are ready to paint. This paint color is color matched to a color from Benjamin Moore called Tuscan Red. I was trying to match the red color that is in the wallpaper. I'm also using a glossy finish, which I have never done before. I ended up really liking it. My love affair with red continues. I'm very much into this color. And yeah, the foam rollers, I'm not sure if this gets cut out in the audio, that has an issue, but the foam rollers ended up being the preferred way of painting Ikea furniture. This is the second Ikea item that I have painted and definitely love the foam roller better than a regular napped roller. Very, very much loving this color. It was a great choice, and I'm really, really happy with it. And I also really love the glossy finish. So of the red color, I did 2 coats for sure, and then went back and checked like, oh, does anything need any extra, and did extra coats where needed. Tips on painting the shelves. When you're on that second coat, just go quickly, up, down, hit the edges, and then just let it dry. When the paint was mostly dry, I went ahead and pulled off the tape, and now I did have to go through, I used a screwdriver just to scrape my edges and make sure that my edges were as clean as possible. Like once the paint was dry, I scraped off any extra paint. The tape job, of course, is not going to be 100% because it's just tape. But I think it is a testament to the fact that as I went through and scraped off any excess, that my paint did not peel off, that we did do a good job making sure that we were adhering this paint truly to the bookshelf. So in general, I think we did a really excellent job with the paint. I love the color. It's not a thing that's going to be super perfect, but for our purposes here, it's working excellently. Love the color. The foam rollers do work really well. The only issues we are running into is drying and getting it nice and smooth in the corners. But We're gonna forge ahead. We are just about dry. We're gonna just go ahead and put this back together so that it has time to like fully dry and cure before we start messing with the wallpaper. Also, we have to get it out of the way because Cash is coming home, and a 1.5 year old in paint and latex paint do not mix. So we're forging ahead. It's time for wallpaper. So all of these samples are from Chasing Paper. They are from a collaboration they did with a textile artist whose name is Sade Akambi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I will of course link all of these options down in the description. It was really hard to choose. I love them all, obviously, because I got samples of them all. But I think that I'm going to go with this one. Actually, you guys already know that because you saw it in the plan. I really love this wallpaper. When I got the sample, I thought it looked a little weird for a wall. So that's why it's going on the bookshelf, because I love it and I want to use it, but I think it would just be too much in a room. So alternative use. Hopefully we'll get to use some of these other wallpapers in other projects. So file them away for later. Now it's time for wallpaper. He always yelling about something. I'm not living my proper Jetson soft life. Shout out to people who watched that video. Okay, these are the back panels for the bookshelves. Obviously, there's 3 of them. I only got 2 rows of wallpaper, so I'm about to show you how this is gonna work. Anyway, what I'm doing is taping 2 of the panels together. I suggested that this is how we do it the other day because I had thought about it, and then Sean just said to me as I laid the panels down, he said back to me this plan, which I had already said to him. You know what I'm saying? The patriarchy. Look how, okay, I was like, look how you're using your tape. You can put your tape to such better use.
You ain't even let me use it before
you
you
look at
started
your first one.
criticizing.
Your first one is,
you tore this small piece of tape from me.
You tore the tape.
Celia almost killed us in the car accident.
I did
earlier
not.
This morning. My head hit the dashboard.
No, only because you made it. So here's the wallpaper. It looks so much better than it did in the sample form. I'm much, much happier with the pattern. I love it, in fact. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, what I gotta do?
You gotta come up here and help me. One person pull it down and the other person stick it on there.
Stick it on in. One
Remember,
person pulls down.
No. No. You remember? Flashback to how we did it in the bathroom.
It's on you, buddy.
To how we put the wallpaper in the bathroom.
I don't think we ever did it in the bathroom. Oh, yeah, we did.
If you've ever hung wallpaper in a wall in a room, this is just like that. Actually, while we were doing this, Sean was like, I wish that you could lay walls down on the floor and put wallpaper on them. I really think that this is a great way to try out a bold wallpaper that you might be afraid of, or just, you know, something that you're like, I don't know if I want to commit to a wall. I think a piece of furniture is an excellent way to try something out to see if you like it. You could even put this on the back. You know, we're putting it on the front, but you could put it on the back. That way you could always very easily just flip it around and have the white side facing you. So after we did the first 2 panels, you can see we just trimmed them with a box cutter down the middle, and voila, we have 2 sides. Then I'm just going to take the first panel that only has half and use the other roll of wallpaper, overlap, and that's how we covered the 3 back panels with the 2 rolls of wallpaper. It was actually really easy. We did run into a few issues in trying to overlap the second one, but in the end we worked it out and it was pretty seamless. This is great wallpaper. You can find it linked down in the description. I'm a big fan and I think it turned out great.
Okay, I don't exactly remember how we had these. I think think it was like that.
Be
So it was none on the bottom, then it was 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Sure. I don't remember that way, but.
One, that's it. That's it right there. Sean made us do a really hard way of doing this.
You wanted to lay them down.
In my opinion, that's easier.
And then put it on top. And then pick it back up and say, switch that one.
We got to put them down anyway because we have to nail them into the bag.
Yeah, but this is easier.
We're going to agree to disagree. But I think that this is the right. I think this is right. And if it's not exactly right, like not exactly the way that we did it, it's working just fine.
Which way are we talking about? The way of my working style or?
Are you ready to lay them down so that we can actually put them in?
Yeah, that way, you know, let me tell you something about working with Celia.
No, we don't need you to tell us anything. Let's just go ahead.
She don't go from A to B.
And lay them down.
She goes from A to H.
No.
Then back to C.
No.
You know?
Come on here.
Ain't really her bag of tricks.
Okay, so now that we're ready to slide these back panels on the back, what we quickly realized is that the wallpaper was getting stuck on the way up, and because it's just a big sticker, it was kind of pulling down on the corners. So what we figured out worked best was using some clear packing tape so you can't really see it, and just reinforcing the corners. That way they're able to slide through. We did have to use the rubber mallet a little bit to get it through, and because the fit was so tight, we only ended up having to nail one back panel down. So it actually really worked out pretty well. A learning curve and, you know, frustrating in the moment, but we figured it out. All right, the time has come to move this over there, move the books out of here. While we take this time to move books around, I just want to say, if you enjoy the videos that you watch on this channel, please consider subscribing. About half of you come back and watch our videos and are not subscribed. So please, it would help our channel tremendously if you would just consider going ahead, hitting that subscribe button, turn the bell on, you know, so that you don't miss an upload, but definitely subscribe. Thanks. Our internet stuff is still plugged in this corner. This unit is going to sit closest to the wall, and I still have a new basket for that stuff to sit in, but I obviously need a place for the cords to go through the back of this. So I have a hole saw. I'm going to create a hole on the back of here so that I have a place for all of my cords to go through the bookshelf, and then it'll be covered by the basket. Now, I've never used one of these, but you can get at it. You can do anything with Amazon and YouTube. Okay, that explains why
That's why I didn't want to do it, because I knew I wanted to see you mess up on it first.
Oh, okay, thank you for that.
Therefore, in order for me to come in
and save the day. Ow.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty easy.
Just did some.
I got hole plugs.
Because the hole is ugly.
Now it's a pretty hole.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Or she.
Or she, yeah. Sean was concerned about the bin. Yes, this Billy system is much more shallow than the Kallax system. You should be aware of that if you plan to put any or both in your home. You have to get a different size bin to work with the Billy, which is what I did, which is why we went to Ikea. So we're gonna try.
Oops. We tried it.
Okay. Maybe take the adapter off. Weirdly, in this apartment, we have a lot of 2-prong plugs. You didn't have to put that through. And we have to use adapters. We have to use adapters. I might go back and change this, the way we have this plugged in, depending on how this works, because we do intend to connect this to the ceiling.
So for more stability, we are going to drill holes into...
Can you make your voice less dead?
For more stability, we're going to attach the bookcases together so that it looks more like a single unit instead of 3 Billy bookcases that took us 3 days to put together. But because of the magic of YouTube.
It's only been 2 days. It's been a day and a half.
According to Celia. But
we did all of this on Monday.
In her mind that it took up 3 weeks.
Now, I was looking for the name of what the actual screw connector situation is that we're using, and I don't remember what it is, but I will be sure to link it down in the description. But what we did learn is that you should not drill through both shelves at one time. Drill a little bit on one side, come on the other side, drill a little bit on that side, and that's how you get a clean hole to connect your bookshelves. Okay, the bookshelf is just about finished. Last night I did some paint touch-ups and we got it in a good position to go ahead and attach it to the wall. However, I do have extensions where I could do one more row of cubes, and I want you guys to let me know down in the comments if you think we should just go ahead and add one more row. I've got leftover paper, I still have paint, so really I could do it. I'm leaning towards yes, but I'm not sure. So let me know what you think down in the comments. We finally reached a place where I can start putting books in. I've already started to just see what kind of sizing I'm working with and if some of my larger books could fit. So I'm gonna get the books in and then I'm gonna do some styling. Finally, the fun part, and I will get back to you guys with some review footage. I have been dreaming of this bookcase for so long, so I'm really so glad to have it out of my mind and into the space where it's supposed to be. Getting it here did take a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but it was a labor of love. Styling took the longest, let's be honest. So I'm gonna quit yammering. Let's get to the review. All right, so what did you guys think? Again, so happy to have this thing be an actual feature in the room. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you think we should add that extra row. Next week, we are making a few more changes to the living room in preparation for the holiday season. So make sure that you come back, hit that subscribe, ring the bell, that you're here for all of that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.